now. I told you I might be a few minutes later than planned due to tech difficulties. And while it wasn't technically a tech difficulty, I did have some logistical issues, but we're here now. Happy New Year's Eve 2023, or depending on your time zone, happy 2024, happy New Year. I know that at least some of you are in Australia, and some of you, gosh, I guess even like the Eastern Europe and stuff, they're starting to cross over into 2024 now too. So this is just a total low-key New Year's Eve live stream. I wanted to check in with you guys. I just kind of wanted to chat. I'm gonna actually pull this up on my computer. I'm using my phone to stream. So if the quality's not great, that's why. But let me know if you can hear me, if you don't mind, because I want to make sure my mic's working. But just wanted to kind of, just like I said, I wanted to kind of just hang out with you guys. This is very low pressure, low stress. Just wanted to offer the space for anyone to join and just kind of connect and hang out either at the end of the year or going into this next year. So just kind of what I titled this like the live stream, the thumbnail and all that. I said, you know, this is the 2023 New Year's Eve live stream, and we're going to be doing sort of a recap of the whole reaction journey thus far and kind of a recovery update, as well as reviewing 2023's word of the year, which is right here on this board behind me, and possibly telling you what 2024's is. We'll see. We'll get to that. I probably will. And then just kind of closing it up with some thoughts. So first and foremost, if you are new here, and I know that there have been a lot of people who have come just from the Angelina Jordan video yesterday, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm Becca. I deal with a lot of complex chronic illnesses, and I'm currently in recovery from over 20 years of dealing with anorexia, and have been trying to fight my way back from a relapse in the past 2 years. So it's been rough. But we're getting there. We're finally making strides. We're finally getting places. Thank you, Raymond, for letting me know that you all can hear that. That's awesome. So I fell into the reaction content niche this year, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about that. But I just wanted to say thank you. Before I get into anything else, I just wanted to say thank you to every one of you, whether you've been here from the moment I started this channel, whether you came when I started posting the reactions in March, whether you've come at any point since then. I am so grateful for you. I am so appreciative, I can't talk today, of you, and I could not do this without you and without your support. And in a year that has brought many difficult and dark moments, you all in this community has been a consistently bright spot in my life, and I'm just so grateful. And it is such a blessing to be able to do this kind of work and to connect with, I say work, sure, there's behind the scenes like literal work as far as editing and stuff, but it's something I love. I'm passionate about it, and it is so special to be able to share that passion and to see other people connect with it. As I've said multiple times over the past several months, my goal with this channel is to either help someone feel less alone, help someone feel more understood, or to give someone something to laugh or learn about. And if I can do any one of those things, that's a win as far as I'm concerned. So just wanted to start off the video with a big thank you to all of you. You're amazing. I'm gonna be just trying to look through the comments here. If I get a little behind, I'm probably gonna like look at them in batches. So bear with me on that. I'm not great at that, but oh yeah, Raymond, total Kentucky Wildcat fan. Big Blue Nation right here for sure. Thank you guys. Okay, I don't want to, I'm going to go through the stream stuff, then we'll get to the comments because I don't want to keep you here any longer than you have to be, but I appreciate all of you so much for joining and for leaving such encouraging words as always. So 2023 recap and reaction. I gave you the big thank you. That is, you all have been honestly one of the best parts of my entire year, and I could not be more grateful to be doing what I'm doing right now. It's kind of funny how I got here, because my channel before now, I had this very narrow vision of what I thought a recovery related channel had to be. And it was very narrow-minded, not intentionally. I just had trouble thinking outside the box. And then NF, I have listened to NF for a decade, and he posted his Hope music video off his album that came out in April. He posted that in February. And on an old channel where Roger and I vlogged a lot, I did a handful of reaction videos, but I didn't like dive into them quite as much as I do here. But I knew I enjoyed it, and I knew I wanted to do it to NFs, especially once I saw the promo for Hope. So I did that, and then you all flooded the comments. Oh my gosh, you flooded the comments. I loved making it. It energized my soul, but you all flooded the comments with, do Hi Rin by Rin, do this video, Hi Rin, hey, here's this link to this video by this guy called Rin, hey, he has Lyme disease, hey, like, I can't tell you, I think probably 95% of the comments on the NF Hope video included some mention of Hi Rin telling me to go do it, and I'm like, okay, well, there's clearly a lot of people who want to do this video. They say that this guy deals with some stuff that I could relate to. Little did I know what was in store, but I did it. And then initially that was going to be it. That was going to be it. I was going to get back to my regular content. And then you all kept flooding the comments with other requests, with encouragement, giving me feedback that you were really connecting and enjoying the vulnerability. And yes, I just saw Raymond's message pop up, says we all cried with you. Yeah, that Hi Rin specifically, but then so many of his songs, it's just such an emotional experience. And I saw that people were really connecting with that. I saw that you were able to connect. And I want to share with you something like throughout a lot of my life in certain situations, I have kind of been, I guess, teased or kind of just belittled for the amount of expression that I have for my emotional, I guess emotional expression. That's what I was trying to go for. Because I've always been told, oh, you're overreacting, or you're too sensitive, or you're too emotional. And when I tell you guys that the past 9 months on this channel, seeing comment after comment after comment saying thank you for being emotional, not thank you for being emotional, but thank you for vulnerably sharing your emotions, thank you for not holding back, I can tell that it's authentic. Authenticity is like one of the most important values in my life. So anytime someone is able to connect and resonate with me on an emotional level, that fills my heart and soul in a way that not many other things can. So I leaned into the resistance. I told Roger, I had a conversation with Roger, and I actually had this conversation with my recovery coach as well. I said, I'm resisting it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to become a reaction channel. I want to make the content I want to make. I'm like, okay, no, that's a little selfish. If I'm just making what I want to make, it's selfish and it's not nearly reaching the people that I'm hoping it will eventually reach. And I then posted, I believe, the Sick Boy video about 5 or 6 days maybe after Hi Rin. And I posted chalk outlines several days after that. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm leaning into this resistance and I am pivoting this channel because those music videos and then other things that I've done, since then, they have given me the ability to still communicate about recovery, but also about mental health in general and chronic illness in general, and connect with people who otherwise I wouldn't have had the blessing of connecting with if I was still stuck in this like super narrow vision of this is what a recovery channel has to be, instead of realizing I can be a recovery channel who shares that recovery through reaction. So, and it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I love because it not only do I resonate with it and it's healing for me, but you all know, if you've been around for a while, you know I geek out and I love digging into lyrics and flows and cadences, and I'm such a rap nerd. And that is not something that a lot of people necessarily think when they look at me at first, but that is definitely something I love. And the rap and the emotionals of everything that I have done this year has just been so amazing. And I could not be happier that I leaned into that resistance of, I don't want to be a reaction channel, because I am loud and proud to be a reaction channel, because it has helped me connect with literally, I think we're almost at 3,800 people here. Are you serious? I had 212 people here at the beginning of the year. I just want to say, this is not about analytics. The numbers aren't what's important to me. But the fact that there have been nearly 3,800 souls come to this channel, got speechless there for a minute, because that means that I've been able to connect with that many people in some way, and that is the best gift that I could have this entire year. Sorry, I keep seeing some comments come in. I will get to those, I promise. I will scroll through in just a minute. I just want to hit these points first, as I'm slurring my words trying to explain that. Okay, so yeah. Initially had that resistance, then I finally am glad I leaned into that being a reaction channel, because it's honestly the best decision I could have made. Because again, through the reaction format, I've been able to reach more people with the messages that I like to be able to share: the mental health, the chronic illness, the messages of hope, the messages of pain, the messages of just not being alone. It has given me that avenue and ability to do that, and I could not be more grateful. So that's kind of like that's the reaction recap. That's what we're going to call the reaction recap. I'm going to tie, I think, the recovery recap and update into my word of the year of 2023, because my word of the year of 2023 was stillness, right there. That was my word of the year for 2023. And I'll tell you guys, I was not very still when getting to that word on New Year's Eve 2022 because I was in such a deep, dark place last year, a deep spiral of just hopelessness and apathy that I usually start thinking about my word of the year a month or two before the year's over. And I had completely just not done it at all. I hadn't even been able to think about it until New Year's Eve. And it was like 3 or 4 hours before the new year. And Roger can tell you, I was pacing around here in the bedroom, like, oh my gosh, what's my word gonna be? What's my word gonna be? What's my word gonna be? I had a whole list. I was like marking them off and adding them here. And it was chaotic. And ironically, that chaos led to stillness being my word of the year for 2023. And part of that reasoning for that word is because it's something I really needed to embrace and figure out how to handle and deal with, because a big part of my eating disorder relapse the past couple of years has been compulsive movement. And I can't really do like traditional hardcore exercise with all my chronic illness issues, but I could pace a mean track around this bedroom floor. I could pace around this bedroom for X amount of time. I'm not going to use numbers as always to get in, whatever my subjective number of steps I should get in for the day. And that became extremely addictive. I've shared that in a couple videos throughout the year, just kind of referenced it, but like it took me 9.5 months of this year to actually get to a place where I was finally able to tackle that piece of it. And it still hasn't been perfect, but I want to say, like, I tried to work with my coach, with my therapist, my dietitian on these different plans throughout the year. We tried it in March. We had this plan in place to like, okay, here's how I'm going to stop walking and here's how it's going to go. And we're going to taper it down and do all this. And then something happened and got derailed. So we did the same thing in July. Same thing happened, got derailed. Point of it is, on October 19th, which actually is my sister's birthday. Fun fact, it's also JJ Heller's birthday. It's also like 4 other people I know's birthday, but that was the first day that I had 0 steps intentionally. And I kept that going almost every day. Now, since October 19th, there have been a few days here and there, not like straight in a row, not a big like spiral that's led to it, but there have been a few days where I've not necessarily been perfect, but that's also part of the journey. Because the difference now in the days when I had something horrible just like happen and I started spiraling and having a meltdown and I did end up pacing or walking, I have been able to get back on track. I've been able to, even though I've sent text to my coach and say, I'm done, I can't do this, I'm finished, nope, not gonna do this anymore, I'm giving up, I'm just gonna walk forever now. Like, okay, no, not happening. But that is literally something that has happened multiple times, and it happened every time this year up until the past like 2 months. So the fact that I have been able to once again get back on track in those few moments that I have kind of slipped up a little bit is amazing, and is proof that there is some neural rewiring, that's hard to say, going on that I sometimes can lose sight of, but it's definitely happening. And it took me until mid to late October, but I finally got to that stillness and rest. And rest is a very hard word. It's a very scary word for a lot of people, especially in this society where we're in this like hustle culture of always keep doing, going, and always try to be productive no matter what you're doing. Don't do anything just for fun or taking it easy or anything like that. And that's one of the reasons I kind of like to do these live streams low key like this, is because I don't know, it's kind of now I will acknowledge I talk really quickly and I apologize for that. So that probably doesn't feel very chill, but I kind of like to try to use these live streams as just a chill chat hangout session. Yeah, to share some specific things, but also just to kind of touch base and chat, which again, I will get to those in just 1 second. But yeah, so that was my word of the year of 2023. And I'm telling you guys, again, I will not use numbers ever on this channel, but I was this is not a step related number, but this is a time related number. So just wanted to give a little bit of a heads up. All summer long, from the months of like May, June, July, yeah, about 3 months of the year, I was waking up at 3:30 in the morning so I could get my steps in for the day. And I use that accent on purpose to illustrate how ridiculous that is, because yes, it's a disorder. Yes, it is literally exercise addiction, and you go through withdrawals when you don't do it. But that is, now that I've had almost like 2 months here, a little bit over 2 months of actually getting to that point of stillness, I'm like, holy crap. How was I? Now, I love being outside in the super early morning dark before anyone gets out. It's the most peaceful time. And I'm a super early riser in general. but I was intentionally rising like an hour and a half, 2 hours before I naturally would wake up anyway, so I could try to do all that. And the fact that I have been able to stop that, and that was actually going on most of the year, but significantly throughout the summer, that was the worst time of it. I'm now still, with the exception of those few days in the past like 2.5 months, stillness has come and it's here, and I don't intend on leaving it behind in 2023. Finally reached it, gonna take it with me into 2024. So if you all struggle with resting as well and you need permission to do that, come back to this video. Take this right here as your permission to rest. And not only permission, but rest can actually be the most productive thing that you can do at times. And Roger said it in a way that I really love. He said it a few weeks ago. He said rest is work. And that just blew my mind because it's so simple, but it's also so profound, because for someone who struggles to rest and struggles to slow down, even with my speech, as I already pointed out, rest is actually like the hardest job that you could have, the hardest thing that you could do. So it's a really weird feeling for me to say that I'm proud of myself. I don't say that too often, but I'm gonna say it right now. I am proud of myself because I got there. There still may be days where I wish I would just get up and walk, because I know that in the moment that would make me feel better, but I know that that is in no way gonna help me in the future, and that is no way gonna get me closer to the goals that I'm getting ready to tell you about in just a second. So yeah, took me all year, but I got to stillness. Now for 2024, I don't know if any of you guys do the word of the year thing. I'm a big fan of it. I do not like resolutions, especially since like you're probably already being flooded with people posting about their weight loss resolutions for the new year. And I've done a whole stream on that before, so I'm not going to go into that. I've talked about that at length, but like, really, that's what's going to make your year better? That's the biggest thing that you could, okay, no, I said I'm not going to get into it, and I don't want to get an attitude, but basically what I'm saying is it's impossible to escape people talking about diet and weight loss resolutions, which for the most part will likely peter off about 3 or 4 weeks into the year, and then people won't be sticking to them, and that's kind of how it goes. And it's really frustrating to have to be in recovery and seeing all that stuff, but at the same time, I kind of feel, I don't know, it hurts my heart a little bit because I've been there, and it's a really sucky place to be, to feel like that's the number one thing that you have to do. And I just hope that if that's something that you feel like you've had to set as a resolution, that you realize that you are so much more than that, and that there is so much more in life that is valuable and important about you than your body size or shape. But my word of the year for 2024, it was a little too easy this year. I told you about the chaos of getting to stillness last year. It was too easy this year. I had a big long list of words, but the word actually came up a few weeks ago in something that I was working on for therapy with my art therapist, and kind of discussing with my coach and my dietitian. And I told my coach, I'm like, I now talk about resistance. We talked about the resistance earlier, about resisting being this type of channel. I was resisting the ease of this word coming to mind because last year was so hard. So I thought it had to be this like super profound, drawn out, lengthy, stressful process. I'm like, no, my word of the year has been with me for like the past 3 or 4 weeks. I just didn't realize it. And that word is, I don't know, what can I do here? I'm going to write it down here just for effect. We're going to use a little prop here, although you're probably not going to be able to see my writing. But my word of the year for 2024 is closer. And part of the reason I chose that word, it's a really attainable word. It's an action word. It's accessible. It's not like an endpoint. I'm not using the word like recovered, or not using the word hope, which in my mind puts a bunch of pressure onto me to always feel hopeful. And then when I don't feel hopeful, I would feel like I'm failing. Closer is something that can be applied to literally every aspect of life, whether that's recovery, whether that's working on stuff on the channel, whether that's just connection with people either online or in my offline life. There are so many ways that goal can be applied. And then as far as recovery goes, there are multiple goals along the way in recovery that I'm trying to get closer to as well. And that's something that I've been debating about whether or not I was going to share it here today. I haven't shared it publicly yet, and I was debating on not sharing it, but I think I'm going to. So one of the things about this year, or one of the things about this word for the year, it lights a spark in my soul because it is accessible and attainable. And it's something that first came up when I realized, this was a couple days before my birthday back in November, actually. This first came to mind, and I told Roger, for the first time in my life, my entire 35 years of life, like, I've dealt with this eating disorder for 20 years. I've dealt with chronic illness and disability for almost 11 years now. Well, longer than that, but I've been disabled for 11 years. And I therefore have never let myself dream of being a mother. And I'm talking about trying to biologically have a child. This is not something I've ever shared publicly. I've only shared this with like 5 people total, Roger being one of them. So here it is. I decided a couple days before my birthday, after Roger and I had a pretty difficult, heavy conversation. It was just a really difficult time. There was a bunch of stuff going on that was kind of sending me mentally spiraling, and I was just hit with this one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I can use, by this time next year, I want to be able to try to have a biological child, to start trying to have a biological child, not saying, not putting pressure on, like, by this year, I will be pregnant, no, nothing like that, but being in a place where I am physically and mentally well enough to start trying in that process. That's my number one. That's my number one goal. That's my number one goal by the end of 2024. So in my art therapy sketchbook, I have this drawing that I did a few weeks ago. It's like a road, like a perspective road, so you can see it like going off into the distance. And I have, at the very end of that road, I have a little drawing that I put on there of a child wrapped up in a blanket. And then I have Roger and me at the beginning of the road standing there holding hands. And I have things all along the road, which are like the different steps that I'll have to reach to get closer to that end goal. And I am not kidding you when I say never in my life have I let myself even believe that it could be possible. But it could very much be possible. I confirmed that with my doctor, multiple doctors. They said, yeah, if you recover, it can be possible if you recover, if you weight restore, if you go through nutritional rehabilitation. So that's why I'm doing all of this right now. If you stay still and stop exercise addiction, that's my goal here. And that is something that I, for the past 2 or 3 years, has been the biggest pain point for me, because I've seen so many people, friends, family, online, just in the world in general. I feel like all the time I'm seeing these announcements, these being, the pregnancy announcements or birth announcements or gender reveals or anything like that. And it's like a dagger in my heart every time I see that. Not that I'm not happy for those people as well. Of course I am. And I have nephews that I love so dearly. But there's this, what I call a child-shaped hole in my heart that I will never be able to forgive myself if I don't get to the place where I have recovered enough to at least try to make that a possibility. Again, I'm not tying this to the outcome of it happening, but to getting to a place where I am solid and stable enough to try. And I refuse to even try to bring a child into this world or into this home if I'm not mentally better. So that's what this year is. That's 2024. That's closer is the word of the year, and that is the biggest goal by the end of the year. There are a lot of other things throughout the year though as well. And I also just wanted to share one last thing here as far as that word of the year goes. I was talking about this with my coach as well, and I think I've mentioned it. I don't know, maybe I've mentioned it in community posts. I lose track of what I've shared where. But in 2022, at the very beginning of 2022, when the new year started, my eating disorder in 2021, when this relapse started, it had like come up with this rule that it did not consult me on. It did not consult me. It just made it the rule. You can only eat if Roger's home. So like he works and he's a band director, so he's out of the house a lot, especially during the fall. So that was really convenient for the disorder to have me not eat at all unless he was home. New Year's 2022, however, once again, I was not consulted. But it changed the rule into the exact opposite and said, you can't eat around anybody else, not even Roger. You can't let anyone else see you eat. You can't even let him see you go to the kitchen to grab food. So the past 2 years have been so freaking frustrating because I have had to like keep food stockpiled in the bedroom as best as I can if I want to try to stick to this meal plan and do what I need to do for recovery. But it has then kept me isolated from Roger when he's like been in the living room and I've been stuck in here, and it's just, it sucks, honestly. It just sucks. So I was thinking of the line from was it in the Santa Claus? Mister, what you did is, was it in Home Alone or was it in the Santa Claus? Oh, I don't remember, but the little kid says like, something that you do that just sucks. I think it was in the Santa Claus. I'm sorry. No. It's in Christmas. It's in Christmas Vacation. It's in Christmas Vacation. It's the son talking to the boss when Cousin Eddie's, okay, getting off all that, but that's where the movie, that's where the quote's from. It sucks. It sucks to not be able to eat with my husband. So I decided, I wasn't consulted on that rule change. I have not had input on that rule for 2 years now. And I think 2024 is the year that I eat with my husband. It just is. In my appointment with my coach on Monday, or on Thursday rather, so my days are all messed up, I was telling her, I'm like, we would, okay, let me gather my thoughts here so you're not hearing me stuttering. Okay. A few different times in our conversation, she would say something, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, because, 2024, that's the year that I eat with my husband. That's the year that I eat with my husband. I'm just like calling it that, because while black and white thinking in recovery can be a hindrance and can be difficult, if you have a brain like mine, which has the OCD and autism side of things as well, if you can find a way to harness the black and whiteness and use it for recovery purposes, it can be really powerful. So like tomorrow's the first day of 2024, and 2024 is the year I eat with my husband. So I guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow and the rest of 2024. Guess that's the number one step that I got to take if I want to get closer to that goal at the end of the year. It's the number one step I have to take, because it is the number one thing still keeping us stuck in this horrible cycle and spiral of disorder in this house. And I want to tell you guys, there have been, probably 6 or 7 times in the past 2 weeks, maybe 5 or 6 times, where okay, there we go. Can't talk. Where I have actually eaten with Roger. And it was mostly when we were out there watching Christmas movies in the evenings and stuff out in the living room. But I have done it probably closer to 5 or 6 times, not 6 or 7, but still more times than I had in the past 2 years combined until the past like 8 or 9, 10 days. So that's a big freaking deal. And I just wanted to acknowledge that and celebrate it, because it's hard to say, because the eating disorder wants to shut it down and to say that I don't deserve it and to say that I don't need it. And all of that is such bullcrap, which is why I'm acknowledging it here, and also telling you that 2024, that's the year I eat with my husband. Come on. That's the year that I'm actually eating with my husband. It just is. That's what it is. There's the switch. Flipping the switch. That's what 2024 is. So, those are some of my reasons for choosing closer as my word of the year for 2024. So those were kind of the main points that I wanted to touch on as far as like the notes that I had here. I'm going to start scrolling through your comments now, since I told you I was going to get to those. And I know that I haven't yet, because if I do that, then I will get so lost on what else I'm trying to say. So let's see here. Thank you. Okay, so several of you are saying you're proud of me. You're loved back always and forever. We all cried with you. Oh, I saw that cried with you one. Yeah, Raymond, Ren helped with my neuropathy and depression. He gave me direction in life. That is amazing, Raymond. That's amazing. And I love that he's been able to be that source of healing for you as well, literally, mentally, and on that physical level. That's amazing. Let's see, is that blue star? Is that the name I'm seeing there? Thank you for creating this space. I enjoy your reactions and also deal with health issues. I'm currently in the hospital and found you through your reaction video. Okay, first of all, friend, I'm so sorry that you're in the hospital right now. It's never a fun time to be in the hospital, but especially when it's some kind of holiday. So I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. And I'm sorry that you're dealing with so many different health issues. It's really, really a hard place to be. And I feel for you. And I'm sending you so much love and empathy and compassion. And I'm so glad that you found your way here, because, that's letting anyone just feel less alone or more understood. Those are 2 of my main objectives. So I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for taking time to stop by today and just by the channel in general. Let's see, Beth said, hey, Becca, glad to see you go live. Happy New Year to you and Roger. Happy New Year to you too, Beth. Your reaction to High Run was so thoughtful, and your reactions are fire, but you do you and do whatever you feel comfortable with. Thank you so much, Beth. You have been so encouraging for months and months now. I'm so glad that I did that High Run reaction, because it is what kind of started this snowball going and has led me to be able to keep doing this stuff and to connect with so many wonderful human souls throughout it. And I really appreciate that so many of you share that same sentiment, like, do what works for you. We want you to take care of you, and being seen as a person first and a reactor and a channel second is like, I also never thought that would happen. I thought if I leaned into this and was a reaction channel, then that's what I would be. And you all have shown me that's so not the case. You see me for who I am. You understand when I'm going through stuff and maybe can't do certain things or have to edit things in certain ways or, whatever comes up. And I just thank you for all of that, Beth. I really appreciate it. Cindy says, good for you, Beckett. Thank you very much. I think that was the stillness conversation. I think I saw that one come through when I was talking about stop walking. John says, hey, Becca, and everyone else here. Hope you don't mind me joining you all first time live from you guys. Hey, John, no, definitely don't mind you being here. Really glad that you're here. If you're still here, I hope you're still here. But if you're not, glad that you were here. Always welcome. This is a very low-key New Year's Eve thing just to kind of end the year because you all have been such a blessing to me. And I just wanted to kind of hold this space for anyone that wanted to connect. So thank you for joining. I'm really glad to have you here, always. Let's see, we've got, I'm not sure how to read this. SLC and CR. This is silencer. Is that what it's supposed to be? Silencer. Good evening, Becca. Got my dinner ready, 9 p.m. here in Germany. Now watching your live stream. By the way, I'm Kite. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I know who you are. Thank you for letting me know you changed your account name. Hey, you're just a few years away from the new year. Happy New Year to everybody, but especially Happy New Year to those of you who are several hours ahead of me here in the Eastern time zone. And thank you for letting me know it was you, because I absolutely knew. Oh, soul cancer, not silencer. Okay, well, soul cancer, silencer, same difference. No, thanks. I know exactly who you are, friend. Thanks for letting me know. Phil, hey, so glad you were able to join. I know that you had, I think, commented on one of my community posts and said that you might try to. I don't remember. I lose track of all this, but thanks. I'm so glad you're here. And you're, I believe, 5 or 6 hours ahead. So it's what, like almost 8:30 there for you, I think. So you're getting closer to 2024 too. Let's see. Raymond, thank you. He says you're very brave talking about this and you're helping others and yourself. Honestly, it is very helpful. It is healing for me. It's healing and helpful. And my number one goal, ever since I started dealing with my eating disorder over 20 years ago, ever since I started dealing with chronic physical illness 16, 17 years ago, has been for my journey to be able to, in some way, help at least one other person. That's always been my main goal. If I'm going to have to deal with this crap, I want to be able to turn it around in a way that can at least help one other person. And then it sounds kind of cliche, but if I can do that, then it's kind of all worth it. And it doesn't always feel worth it. Trust me, there are plenty of times when I'd rather just say, nope, I'm perfectly healthy. I don't deal with any of this. But dealing with the stuff that I've dealt with and being open about the stuff that I've dealt with has been a really amazing vehicle for healing that I've seen come from others. Others have communicated that to me, saying that by me sharing my story, they've also been able to feel some sense of healing. And that is the biggest blessing to me. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. So thank you for saying that here, Raven. I really appreciate it. Let's see, Blue Star again. Thank you, Sending Lover. Back to you, Becca. Got you there, friend. Andy says, Happy New Year, Becca. Wishing 2024 will bring you much joy and better health. So glad you got introduced to Angelina Jordan, whose music and as a person, oh, sorry, my eyes kind of went on me there. And a person has improved the quality of my life. That is, oh, Annie, thank you so much. And remind me, I think you are the one who has recommended her several times. I think you've requested her several times. I think you're one of the few people that have done that. And I'm so glad I finally started getting to her stuff. I know there were several comments on that newest video that people were confused. They didn't think that I watched the interview at the beginning or cut it off at the end. And I actually did watch all that stuff. It's the first video that I had reacted that had like a talk show component, and I wasn't quite sure what the editing guidelines were for that. So I kind of played it safe on this one, but I'll try to include some interviews in the future, but I can't wait. That was 2014. So you all told me that's like one of the earliest videos. So I can't wait to dig into everything else that she's done. I know that she's 17, be 18, in a week or two, something like that. You all were telling me. And I am so glad to be connecting with yet a whole other fan base here, because I can tell you guys love her so much and you're so enthusiastic, and rightfully so, because she's amazing. So I'm really grateful to be introduced to her. Can't wait to keep going down that rabbit hole, because my mind is already blown and I know it's going to keep being the case. Let's see. Okay, I think I finally caught up on the chat there. Here we go. Okay, yep, looks like I did. So yeah, again, just wanted to kind of close this out by saying, again, thank you. Thank you for joining me here. Hold on, I just saw Andy's comment come through. Yes, you requested a few times to induct Angelina, who will turn 18 on January 10th. Yep, okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was your name that I saw come up several times with that. So I'm glad I was finally able to get to it and can't wait to get to more for sure. Let's see here, another comment. In the bushes, you've helped more than just one person. Your transparency and sincerity are inspiration. Thank you so much, Ren. Thank you. I kind of shared it a little bit towards the beginning, but words like that mean so much to my heart because I have so often gotten the message that I'm too emotional, that I need to tone it down, but I can't. I can't fake emotion and I can't fake not having emotion. So what you see with me is what you get, and being not only accepted for that, but knowing that it gives others permission or validation or just the sense of the sense of knowing they're not alone in any of this, it means so much to me. So thank you for those words. That means the world to me. Oh, Eugene, I just saw you hop on. He says, hi, Beck, I'd love to see you here, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Eugene. I appreciate you too. I know you've been here for months and months now too. So I'm really glad you happened to catch a stream today. I'm kind of running out of breath if you guys can't tell, so I am gonna wrap this up, but thank you so much for joining me. It has been a heck of a year. This channel and this community has exploded in a way that I never could have expected. And like I started to say earlier, and I think I sidetracked myself, it's not about the analytics to me, but it does blow my mind that so many people have come here. But for me, what it's all about are the words that you guys leave in the comments, are the words that you say that are so kind and thoughtful and encouraging, and just, I don't know, your words not only is doing this work healing for me, but your words are also a source of healing, because connection really is a vital component of healing. And if you struggle to find someone in your offline life, I hope that I'm able to at least provide some sense of community or connection for you here in any way. I'm gonna look at these few comments that came in before I end this here. Peter, awesome. I didn't know if you had joined yet or not. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Peter has been, he said, thank you for sharing. He's actually the person who got me this little music box here, the hybrid music box, which I showed in a live stream back in the fall. I am going to try to clip that into a shorter video so it's easier to see. And he also sent me the Ren figurine here. So, also have a Sick Boy CD. So Peter has been on it, and happy freaking New Year, Peter, because you deserve that. Everybody deserves it, but I just saw your comment hop on there. Let's see. Okay, this is Angelina Jordan's musical prodigy with a voice I have never experienced before. Oh, so true. And I just saw that 8-year-old performance. I can't wait to see what she's doing now at 17. She's so immensely good, and I love the story behind her always performing barefoot. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it was you or somebody else that shared that with me yesterday, but I was reading through the comments, and that story was amazing and blew my mind. And I don't want to spend the time to get into it here because I don't have it memorized quite yet, and I don't want to try to like stumble over the details, but yeah, that's an amazing story, and it just gave me even more respect for her at such a young age. She's just, I don't know, the amount of compassion and empathy in such a young person is just amazing. Andy was pointing out she did just perform with the Nobel Peace Prize tribute to this year's recipient, who was that not, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, whatever. I'm sorry, I did mean to say whatever. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. This recipient, I can't read, sorry, my eyes are, Mahamadi, I'm assuming is the last name. I'm going to screw up the first name, so I'm not going to try it again, but he's in prison in Iran for being an activist for women's rights. Angelina is part Iranian. Oh, wow. I think that was in a few different things I read yesterday. I don't think I connected those two things, because like the Nobel Peace mentions in her birth or her heritage were mentioned in like different comments. So thank you for sharing that here. Eugene's words, wisdom, Becca, the more you resist, the more you fake. One way or the other, the harder it is to let go and relax. Absolutely, Eugene. Masking is something that I have done without realizing it for a lot of my life, but just within the past year especially, I've realized the power of not doing that, and the power of letting your emotions out and letting them shine through, even if there will be a few people that come in and still try to say, oh no, you're pretending, you're overreacting. You wish I was overreacting. This is just me. This is life. So, and yeah, that's right. The more that you resist feeling those emotions, the more that you get into that spiral and this horrible cycle of faking it and then not really getting to have any of that genuine and authentic connection. So thank you for adding that here, Eugene. Kenna, hey! Oh, I didn't see you hop on. I'm glad you were able to join for a minute. I still love this so much, Becca. You are the best. I personally think that you're the best, but we will not have that argument right now. I'm so glad you're able to join, girl. I love you too so very much, and I'm so grateful for you always. Andy, Becky, you seem much happier today than in previous videos from earlier this year. Bless you for helping others, and I hope my observations of you are accurate. Andy, actually, yeah, yeah, you are accurate. I will say, I wouldn't necessarily use the word happy to describe myself. I have had happy moments. I will say that I have had multiple happy moments recently, which is a heck of a lot more than I was having at the beginning of the year. But some of the medical treatments that I've been doing have gotten my brain to this baseline where even if I tend to go into meltdowns or spirals or run back to old behaviors or even just have the urge to run back, even if I don't, um, I'm just kind of at a more chill place, kind of at a more trying to accept life for what it is place and doing whatever I can do to keep moving forward and to keep getting closer place. And there has been more happiness as a result of that. And specifically, I will tell you this point blank, eating with Roger, the several times that I've been able to in the past week and a half or so, that has brought color to our house that has not been here. And to me, color equals joy because devoid of color is a very monochromatic house in life. And that's kind of what I feel like we've been living for a couple of years. So being able to see that color start to come back just a little bit in those moments is, I mean, it's preparing me for 2024 because as we said, 2024 is the year that I ate with my husband. So you're absolutely spot on. I'm really glad that that is able to come through in this stream because I'm overall, even though there are still very difficult things that are coming up, I'm overall smiling more. I'm overall more able to connect to this deeper reason that I've not really been able to before. So yeah, Andy, that perception is spot on. Say Freya is how you pronounce her name there. I'm not sure if she says, I love that Ren has allowed us to open up about chronic illnesses. I've been suffering from arthritis, and because that went untreated for years, now I also or mainly suffer from neurological pain. Oh my goodness, that is so hard. That is such a hard place to be, and I'm sorry that you're having to deal with that as a result of not being diagnosed or treated appropriately. No one should have to be in that position. It's very difficult, and I am so glad that Ren, as you said, for many people he's done this, but I'm glad that for you, he's been able to be that source of kind of catharsis and healing because I think that is, there are many of us, as I'm sure you have connected with others in comments as well, who feel the exact same way. So I'm so glad you're here, but I'm also glad that you've discovered a Ren and know that you are not alone in any of this. And I also just am sending you so much love and empathy and compassion and hope for, it's always hard to say. I don't want to say improving health because you never know exactly what's possible, but just that you can get closer to whatever you want to get closer to in 2024. We'll go with my word of the year there. And neurological pain, by the way, is extremely difficult to deal with. So I know you on a very first-hand basis. I understand you on that. That said, congrats, Becca, on achieving some real stillness. I think your new word is just the best one for where you are in your process. The possibility of you trying for a child is a powerful aim. And then Martin says, wishing you a great 2024 with hopes of good health as well. Back to you, Martin, and Beth, thank you for that. It has been, like I said, this is the first time I said publicly what this bigger underlying goal is, and it's been the first time in 20 plus years of this disorder that I feel like there's something strong enough and big and important enough for me to really hold on to and to keep fighting for and to go through ultimately the hell of the recovery process, because it is not a fun process. But by golly, I'm going to go through it because I'm not going to get to the end of 2024 and not at least give myself the chance to try to reach that goal. So 2024, the year of closer, the year of eating with my husband, the year of some really exciting things I've got in plan for the channel, but I'm not going to say them just yet because they're kind of still simmering. The ideas are still simmering, the details, I'm still kind of getting them ready, but I can't wait to do more with this channel, to expand the things that I'm able to offer to you guys and to connect more with you, because that is what it's all about, connecting and forming that human to human, hey, common humanity, we share this experience, we understand this, we connect, we enjoy this, we laugh, we resonate, whatever it is, we experience emotions together. And I guess that's the note I want to end on. Whatever your emotions are, let them exist. Let them exist. The hard ones, let them exist. They will eventually pass. I don't say that to be diminishing of them because I have trouble believing that myself in the moment, but I also know that it's true. The good ones, oh my goodness, hold on to those glimmers as much as you can. Just let your emotions exist and don't let anyone tell you that you don't have a right to them or that you're too emotional or that you should be feeling one way or another. The very last thing that I want to do on this stream is to pull a card from this Feel, Deal, Heal affirmations deck, which is from Tiffany Rowe. It says 52 cards to up your mental health game. And I just figured it might be fun to pull one and kind of give us a message to end this year and go into the next year with. So let me shuffle them real quick. Whoops. There we go. That was loud. Sorry. Let's see what we got here. These do not fan out like regular deck of cards very well. Okay, here we go. Let's pull one. Not looking. What we got here? Let's see. All right. So here's, if you need a word or a mantra to take with you today, maybe this is the one you need. Maybe that's why I pulled this card. I trust my judgment. I'm just going to leave that out there. Feel free to take it and use it if it would help you. I just saw a couple more comments coming real quick. Andy, yes, you're so welcome for the live stream. I hope that 2024 is even better for you too, and for everyone that's watching this, and for anyone who ever stops by this channel. I hope 2024 is a year of getting closer, whatever that means for you. A year of getting closer to whatever you are trying to get closer to in life, mentally, physically, in your career, in your relationships, whatever that is. And remember that that is an attainable goal for a reason. You're not giving yourself this super like hard-lined end date. Here is the outcome that it has to be. Closer, you can literally work to that every single day, 1% closer to something. So if you want to use that word too, feel free to take that as well. But I'm going to hop off here now because Roger's parents are coming in to spend New Year's Eve with us. So they'll probably be here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm going to take all my filming stuff down and spend some time with him before they get here and then rest up so we can enjoy the night. So thank you guys again for being with me in 2023. Can't wait to see you even more in 2024. I hope you have a very happy new year. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.